So at the University of Florida, the Challenge 2050 project is a tremendous opportunity. We take students from interdisciplinary majors all over campus and put them together with industry professionals and policymakers, and we say, hey, just because someone is 17 doesn't mean their perspectives are any less valid, so why don't we leverage those in the solution process for how we're going to deal with our growing global population that's projected to exceed 9.725 billion by the year 2050. Some of the powerful things that they come up with address the needs of agricultural yield.
I did my project on urban agriculture. I think in the past it's been approached in somewhat of a wrong direction. I think we've mainly focused on what it can produce and only focus on the yield that it can provide. However, I think the benefit is really in the social benefits that it can provide.
Ideally, what would happen is we would have a food waste bin placed next to recycling bins and trash cans where consumers can put their excess food that they don't finish into those bins, and those bins would be frozen and then shipped off to certain factories where it will be mixed together into a compost that feeds to animals in zoos and rehab centers.
The biggest challenge of the day is how are we going to feed the world? And our students aren't only addressing the problems in the classroom, they're out there on the front lines building innovations to actually address those in sustainable ways. Specifically, HM.CLAUSE is nothing short of a godsend for our students. I cannot think of another organization in my time as a faculty member that I've even heard about that contributes as much to our students as they do. The relationships that they build with our students, the time, the perspectives that they share are absolutely critical to the students understanding the role that they want to play in industry. Corporate America moves pretty fast, and if we don't make decisions, we often fall behind our competition. However, one of the things I love about HM.CLAUSE is the intentionality at which they interact with our students. They sit down and have real conversations. They take the time to actually listen, and then they build an environment that's not only going to be conducive to their success, but conducive to the success and the development of capacities that will make our students successful. And when HM.CLAUSE does that, they begin to believe that they do have the capacity to impact the agricultural industry. And that's when they really get excited.
When you sit in that classroom and you really start to get guest speakers coming in from other parts of the world, and they're explaining their perspective on how these things and advancements in general are going to help the world, it makes you feel more valuable to the system in general. And that's just kind of like a spark effect. And from there on, it just makes you feel much more useful, and it gives you purpose for where you want to go with things.
When we build collaborative networks, we create a foundation for change. And I think our students understand that directly from their interactions with HM.CLAUSE. I mean, this is the perfect connection. We don't want theory to operate in a vacuum. And so it becomes critical for our students to find application for what they're learning in the classroom through our industry partners. And HM.CLAUSE is the pinnacle of what we want that to look like.